Hello, this is Gordon D'Silva, and today we're talking about travel, but for business development. So this is where you're looking to go on a pretty significant trip, and you're looking to claim it as an expense against the business. Now, the principle behind this is obviously that if the business pays for it, then you don't have to be taxed on it. So that's the advantage. But there are obviously a couple of considerations, aren't they? So let's have a look at some of these. The first thing is, why are we going abroad for business trips? We've got clients who go to Poland, Bulgaria, the Philippines, and so on, in many countries, and they're going out there to look for labor for their business. So they're looking for either for business contacts to do business with these countries, but in this particular case, they're looking for labor for their business. There's a shortage of certain types of labor in the UK, which they can't fill, and they're having to go to these countries to fill these vacancies. So, in Poland, there's a big community of workers that's looking for work, and same with Bulgaria, and of course in the Philippines it's well known for its doctors and nurses training. So that's why they're going there. It could equally be for trade. You could go to China to do trade. You could go to France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Africa. America. It doesn't really matter where, but there's principles involved in going abroad. It's quite common to go abroad for business. So the first and last thing you really want to do is make sure you have a business case for doing so. Now, if it's the reason I presume people are asking this question is because there is an element that may not be business in the trip, and in which case, the trip is at risk. So you need to make sure you've got a business case, and every case is going to be specific to you and your business. So, what I'm saying here is of a general nature. You've got to assess your own case and understand there will be some risks. So your business case will depend on your appointments you have. You keep a great diary, keep names, dates, visits. If you're going to visit agencies, keep copies of their business cards, brochures, whatever it is, as evidence of the visit, of evidence of, you should have the meetings lined up before you go. Nobody turns up on a £5,000 business trip without having some appointments to go to, with having some clear indication of what they're going to do there, and with what the outcomes are hoped to be. Now, obviously, you don't have to get the outcomes. Business isn't guaranteed, but you need to have made the business case before you even leave the UK. If you have done this, then of course you're going to have some results, and the results will speak for themselves. If you've gone to Poland and you've brought back 10 people that you then begin to employ, then there's your business case pretty well soundly covered. If you go to the Philippines and you come back and you hire 30 nurses for an agency, then that's cool as well, isn't it? Because you've got the business case for that. So the evidence will sometimes speak for itself. Make sure that the evidence isn't against you. So if you go there, make sure that all your bills are not for hotels and tourist places, which give the evidence that you're not really there on business. Typically, you need to make sure that 5 out of 7 days are business. If you're there for a long period, obviously you can have a weekend where you're not working, but 5 days you need to be having business trips. So, keep that in mind. Or if you're going for a stretch that includes 2 weekends, then the bit in between needs to be business. Okay, so there's the tip for that. And then, of course, we're looking at, you've got to really assess the risk. If it's not completely clear-cut, and that's why you're asking the question, you need to understand there is a risk, and you have to assess the risk. You will be making disclosure in your accounts of where you've got, what you've done, and the revenue will have the opportunity to ask questions, either through a P11D inquiry, or through an accounts inquiry, or through a tax return inquiry, or just simply through an ad hoc inquiry. Certainly you want to maybe consider getting inquiry insurance through us. We have a little mini site that you can look at how much it would cost to get insurance to cover yourself for an Inland Revenue inquiry that covers at least the professional fees for dealing with such an inquiry. If you lose, of course, the tax is yours to pay, but at least you don't have to worry about professional fees on top of paying the tax. And if you have made a reckless attempt to claim expenses and reduce your tax, there could be penalties, and the penalties can be up to 200 and even more percent of the tax paid. So if your tax is £1,000, then you could have penalties of £2,000 or more, depending on how reckless your claim is. So we wouldn't encourage you to make a reckless claim ever, because that is just pointless. And besides that, it's illegal. So keep your claims sensible. Make sure you have a business case, a solid business case that you can claim for, and that way you will minimise your penalties or zero your penalties, and have a proper business trip claimed for through your company. Hopefully that's helped, and I look forward to speaking to you once you've absorbed this video. Maybe if there are any very specific questions, then we can have a short chat to make sure that you're clear that on the risks and rewards. Any advice I give can only be given subject to what the revenue feels about it. I'm not the revenue, but I will be devil's advocate and challenge you on some of the things if you so call. Thanks a lot. Take care of yourself. Bye.